Okay, good morning, Black women. Um, I have to tell you that in light of all the stuff that's going on in America, there are some things that y'all should have in your emergency bag, right? You never know with this president what could go on in this country at any time. I'm so very serious, right? For those of you that live in states where you could openly carry or even conceal carry, you need to go on wonderhoodie.com. You need to buy yourself the everyday regular jackets that are bulletproof vests, they cover your head to your waist for women, right? And they also have backpacks and different things for children. In addition to that, they also have bulletproof and stab proof clothing as well, pants, jackets, etc., right? That's just to keep you protected from all of these idiotic mass shootings that we have that nobody seems to take seriously, right? And only because these are white people doing this. If it was any other group of people, they would clamp down on that without a problem. Gas masks, Black women, for you and your children. This is important because with a lot of these protests around the country, or even you just innocently walking by, they have been starting to deploy tear gas, right? Now, tear gas, it burns, all right? And so I know you've heard things like milk makes it feel better, very, very, very cold water, a lot of rushed air. But to avoid all of that, if you're going to be around someplace like that, or even if you come in contact unexpectedly with that, you have to learn to be just as fast and prepared as a person in the military, okay? You need to watch the videos on how to put the gas mask on in the dark with your eyes closed on the ground. Practice. The faster, the better, okay? This is how you're taught. Normally, when you're in the military, paramilitary, they drill you all the time to make sure you do it mechanically without even thinking about it. You too could do the same things for yourself at home, general practice. The same thing with your weapons. When you have weapons, practice. You don't have to do live rounds. You could just do the simulated trigger pulling, rack, unrack, safety, on safety, taking the gun apart, putting it back together, cleaning it, loading it, unloading it. You can use empty clips. You don't have to use full ones, right? In the dark, blindfolded, your weak hand, your strong hand. Practice that backwards and forwards so that you know how to do it mechanically without even thinking about it. That is also how we are taught, okay? The other thing you want to learn how to do is real simple takedown techniques. And you can learn that from any wrestling videos, any beginning karate videos, any beginning judo videos, any beginner MMA videos, or just simple takedown moves from like correctional facilities. Watch the videos, learn the placement of your hips, learn the placement of your hands, how to approach the person to get them in the position of your hip to swing their body weight over you effortlessly. Okay? I have been saying this for years and years, and y'all was laughing at me, right? When I told you back in the days when you had all these black women on here telling you that women don't fight men, and you supposed to be dainty and a damsel in distress, and I was telling you that was straight bullshit. You're always supposed to be self-sufficient and self-reliant. The things I'm telling you, if you learn them and perfect them, you don't ever have to worry about encountering anything in these streets by accident or on purpose, because you never know with this president if they will have the military coming after you or what. But if you just happen to be walking down the street and things are getting out of hand with a riot, a black male trying to attack you because they have a problem with rejection, whatever it is, you will be that much more prepared, and that is the way you're supposed to be. In addition to that, y'all, the food stamp thing should not be something where you now start to think about, like stocking up on everything you need. Every time you go shopping, you should be stocking up on your food, because you never know what will happen in the future, right? Get your canned goods, right, that have long shelf life. Get all kinds of beans that come in the bags. Those beans in the bags can last for a year or more, okay? Get potatoes. You know potatoes. When you have a big family, you can eat potatoes and vegetables for a very long time without having any meat, and you'll be fine. So you gotta get rice, because rice is another one that fills you up. But in order, to get some of the vegetables and things you need, get vegetables, get tomatoes, get a lot of the collards, whatever the greens are, spinach, turnip, collard green, mustard green, any of that. That is some of the best food with just that, potatoes and vegetables, or that rice and vegetables. It's a full fucking meal without any meat, and it gives you the same level of protein, especially when you add the beans, okay? Don't forget tuna fish, the salmon, and all this stuff in the can, okay? And if you can, get a regular old pot, right? A big old pot. Get some dirt, some fertilizer, some highly potent dirt from anywhere you buy your dirt, Home Depot, a nursery, whatever. Plant tomatoes right in your kitchen. You don't have to put them in a pot. If you don't have a pot, you could buy a bag of dirt, put those seeds in the dirt, and grow your tomatoes right out of the bag in your kitchen, out of that dirt, okay? You could also do it with the collards. Don't do a lot, because you know how they spread out, but do a small amount in a bag or a couple of bags. You're good. You don't need a backyard. You don't need a front yard, okay? If you go on Amazon, there are several planters they have now that are like towers, because they understand people are trying to do this in their homes, right? So they have one slot for one vegetable, another slot for another, or even fruit, okay? So look that up on Amazon, buy it, get to work. The other thing is generators, y'all. In a time like this, the government may play around with our electricity. That's fine. If you live in a house, right, you can get a generator that actually uses gasoline, but make sure you don't put it in your house. If you put it in your house, you have to worry about carbon monoxide. You don't want to do that, okay? So when you buy these generators, make sure you buy the ones that are apartment ready, that can still work with whatever they tell you to fuel it with. Sometimes it's not always gasoline. Sometimes it might be some of the fluids that you use with the barbecue grill, or a fuel pit, right? So look into that. The other thing you want to do is water. You want to get water filters, even if they're like the little plastic tubes, so you can carry them wherever you go, so that if you ever need water and all you got is dirty water, you scoop up the dirty water, you drink it at the end of the tube, it filters all the garbage out, clean water goes in your body. If you cannot afford to buy water purifiers and just have them in your house in case you got to reuse dirty water, right? Watch a YouTube video on how to purify water with charcoal. You can do that with charcoal. And there's a couple of other things, but I only know about the charcoal, okay? You need to learn these things so that if ever, right, something happens and you need to take care of yourself, you know how. One last thing I'm going to share with you. I told you all about the coffee can, a regular Folgers can with a roll of toilet paper, douse it with some alcohol, light it on fire. That could either be used as a heater or as a stove. You can do one more way of making a portable stove. You take regular pencil shavings, and you could take a regular stick from outside, okay? If you have a drill that into like a pencil sharpener, or anything that could hold the stick solid, right? And as you drill it, the drill goes in a circle, right? So the drill the shavings down as it wears down the stick. Those shavings and typical wax. You should have candles as well at all times in case you need candles. Sometimes the portable lights you buy, or the lights that come with the generator, sometimes they break. So you should have candles as a backup plan, and emergency flares if you have them. And a household as well as a vehicle fire extinguisher, because you never know when fire kicks off, okay, y'all? All right, so you take those shavings that you get from the stick, or even small wood chips, it don't matter, right? You get the regular wax from a candle. You're going to melt that down on top of the wood chips. Put some more wood chips or wood shavings on top of the melted wax that's on top of the other shavings. You're going to have 4 layers. So shavings or wood chips, candle wax, another shavings or wood chips, and then the final candle wax, right? You're going to put that in something to hold it, like a tin can or whatever. Something that the fire can be contained in, right? Like I always say Folgers can, because that's the first thing that comes to my mind, right? You're going to use that, light it on fire. This will burn for hours, and you don't need the rope that comes from the candle. The whole thing itself will burn for hours. That can also be used to heat the area you're in, or it can be used as a stove if you have more than one of them. Okay? What else? Is there anything else I can think of that you need? You have your water down pack, you have your stove and your heating ability. Body stuff. Like, you guys on a regular should be out here always on Amazon finding booties and stuff like that are sub-zero things. Like, buy foot booties that are sub-zero temperature. Buy full, if they mostly have them on sale a lot, right? Sleeping bags that are sub-zero temperature. So, and for everybody in the family that needs to be warm in case of emergencies, right? And loss of power completely. Because I personally think sometime within this president's administration, they're going to kill our power grid. They have beef with Canada. This man is hell-bent on making people poor and rich people richer. So that would be a great way to do it. Anyway, you need to have things to keep your body warm in case you lose all forms of warmth. So you need sub-zero footing, sub-zero temperature clothing for your body, sleeping bags, because even if you got to lay on a bed, you need to be covered in the sub-zero head to toe to make sure that your body temperature does not go below a certain temperature where you die of hypothermia. You don't want to do that. And especially for children. Always keep that in mind with the kids. If you have to sleep like that, try to sleep with the kids inside the sleeping bag with you. The extra body heat will help both of you, okay? What's the other thing? So we did tents. There are tents online on Amazon, right, that are weather tents. These type of tents, if ever you're like in your car and you get stranded or you get stuck and you have to be there for a while in very bad weather, those tents you can open in your car. You don't have to fully assemble them. You can put them around your body as well to help with more heat to protect you from the outside air. However, if you get stuck outside, those tents, that is what they're made for. They're made to withstand extreme wind, extreme rain, and extreme cold. You go inside, or sand. You go inside, and if you get covered in snow, that tent will still keep you where you can survive that until help comes or it gets a little better for you to get out. You need one of those you need a couple of those emergency blankets too, because even though everything I'm talking about is in preparation for the worst case scenario, there are always people that may have something particularly wrong with them where their body does not react the same way everybody else's does, so they need a little extra push. Those emergency blankets will help to extra regulate the body's temperature if needed, okay? What else? You need first aid kits in case people get hurt. You need to watch a video on how to properly prepare and execute a tourniquet. And you do that in case of extreme fucking accidents or things that happen that you never would expect and people are profusely bleeding. You want to know how to stop it. You want to know how to place the tourniquet, where you're supposed to place it on the leg, above and below, to stop the artery from pumping the blood completely out the body. These are all real things you need to know, okay? What else? With babies, right? For those of you that do not know how to do the Heimlich maneuver for babies, please go on Amazon. They actually have an anti-choking device that you could buy off of Amazon that will help you if your child is choking. All right? If your child is choking, do not panic. Okay? Do not bang their back where you break something on their little bodies. You go online, you watch a video on the infant Heimlich maneuver or infant choking procedure. Learn it. It's a different technique for the age of the baby. For infants, it's one thing. For toddlers, it's another. For children that are, what do they call the baby, the bigger babies? Pubescents. It's a different procedure for them too. So go online, learn. These are the things you should be learning online. Those things I can't teach you. I would literally need a child to show you what to do. So, but anyway, you need to know these things. But if you can't, you go buy that anti-choking device on Amazon for children. I have literally bought one of those things for each household my grandchildren live in. Okay? Because it is important. You never know if they have a babysitter or a family member where this person freaks out. They don't know what to do. The anti-choking device will do everything for them. Okay? I'm trying to think of everything. Oh, that device works with animals too. Okay? So if you have an animal that you have with you and they begin to choke or they go in water and you think they're dead, they're not. Use that device on them and also do the regular CPR on the dog. The dog will come back to life just like a human will. All right? It's you got to get the water out of their lungs and then you'll be fine. What else? I believe that's it for now. You know, the other things I'm thinking about is like survival techniques with like fighting off danger and having to take somebody out if you have to. But I think that's all for now, okay? But some of the things I spoke about, if you want to know further, you know, YouTube is your friend. They have a lot of those white guys on there that live off the grid and that are experts in living off the land that will teach you a ton of things. I told y'all before to be on this YouTube and everything else, finding those type of people and learning everything from them, because you never know when that comes in handy. I'm telling you, you never know. I think I had told y'all a few years back, I was driving from New York City upstate and I got stuck in a blizzard. And the things that I taught you about today, I utilized them on my own for myself to survive one whole day without contact from anybody and the roads being so bad that nobody was out looking for us, okay? In my car, I have a portable refrigerator that I got from Amazon. You can look this up, and it's also being sold on TikTok, okay? I have a portable stove in here. I have a portable bathroom. All of this is on Amazon in case you care about it, right? I also have a portable shower, okay? So these are all the things you could buy to literally have a house inside your trunk, or if you have those strong lock boxes on top of your car to carry the extra things, put that stuff in there so that when you need it, you have it. I also have the tents in there, the sleeping bags, the extra lights for my car, the flares, the fire extinguisher, everything I need to keep me warm. I have the Sub-Zero booties, the hats and the gloves. I have everything extra to keep me warm. Prepare a little food. I even have I have canned foods in there with a regular hand-turned can opener in case I need it. You have to think like this because you never know what will happen in this world at any time. Not just because of this idiotic president, but because in life, shit happens and sometimes help can't get to you fast enough. So you must learn to help yourself, okay? I hope that some of the things that I told you in this video is more than helpful. If you missed anything, please review, rewind, and write it down because I want black women to be safe, okay? Number one is the mass shootings, y'all. Go on Wonder Hoodie. Get those bulletproof clothes for you and your kids. And if you can't get the clothes, get at least a backpack for your children. Okay? At least a backpack. Do what you got to do to protect you and yours. Okay? Be well. That's all I got for now, but I was just looking at that last mass shooting and I was getting very aggravated because It just seems like these people are just hell-bent on hurting as many people as they can just because they're dumb and they just can't handle emotions. Like, they could dish all of this crisis, inflict this shit on everybody else, but when it comes their way, they have a total meltdown. And if they have a total meltdown around you, I want you to be prepared. Understand? Be well, black women. Love you so much.